Right now, somewhere in the world, a couple is saying, "Till death do us part." But what if that promise had an end date? What if every marriage automatically ended after exactly 5 years? You'd have to choose to renew it or walk away with no legal trouble. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how this one change would completely reshape our world. It would destroy billion-dollar industries and reveal something uncomfortable about why we really get married. Trust me, what happens in year 4 will shock you. Imagine waking up tomorrow to a new law. Every marriage now comes with a 5-year review period. When 5 years end, both partners must actively choose to continue. No automatic extension, no messy divorces, just a simple yes or no. Sounds reasonable, right? Maybe even healthy? But here's what makes this so important to explore. This isn't just about changing marriage. It would change how we raise children, run our economy, build our homes, and even how we fall in love. The effects would touch every part of human society. Let's dive in. Within the first month, the divorce lawyer industry would collapse overnight. We're talking about a $50 billion global industry disappearing. But something else happens that nobody expected. Wedding ceremonies completely change. Gone are the huge $30,000 celebrations. Why? Because you're not promising forever anymore. You're promising 5 years. Couples start throwing commitment parties instead. Smaller parties, more personal. The wedding industry loses 60% of its money in the first year alone. But here's where it gets interesting. Engagement rings change too. That 3 months salary rule, dead. Couples start buying cheaper rings or skipping them completely. It's just 5 years, they say. The diamond industry crashes. Now, you might think this sounds freeing, and for some people, it is. But watch what happens to how people think. Dating apps see 300% more users, but not from single people, from married couples in years 3 and 4. They're keeping their options open. They're seeing what's out there. Cheating rates don't just rise, they skyrocket. Because in people's minds, they're not really cheating anymore. They're pre-dating for their next relationship. The guilt disappears when forever isn't on the table. But wait, here's what's really shocking about this phase. Let's talk about the big issue, children. Right now, about 40% of married couples have children within the first 3 years of marriage. But in this 5-year system, that number drops to 11%. Why? Because having a child becomes the ultimate gamble. What happens if you have a 2-year-old when the contract ends and your partner walks away? Sure, there are custody arrangements, but now you're a single parent who signed up for a partner. So couples wait, and wait, and wait. They wait until the 2nd or even 3rd renewal to have kids. This means most people aren't having children until their mid to late 30s. Birth rates drop by 35% in the first decade alone. Countries like Japan and South Korea, already facing population problems, basically cease to exist within 2 generations. The global population begins a steep, unstoppable decline. But some couples do take the risk and have children early, and for them, something unexpected happens. Psychologists identify a new condition called contractual entrapment. These are parents who desperately want to leave their marriages, but they renew the contract only for their children's sake. They're not staying together because divorce is hard. They're staying because walking away is too easy, and the guilt would be unbearable. These marriages become pressure cookers. Reports of domestic violence increase by 28% in the year before contract renewals. Therapists are overwhelmed. A new specialty emerges: renewal counseling. And here's the twist nobody saw coming. Children raised in this system develop completely different ways of forming relationships. By year 10 of this new system, brain scientists discover something deep. The human brain is literally adapting to shorter relationships. Brain scan studies show something interesting. The neural pathways connected to long-term bonding start to weaken across the population. These are the pathways that fire when you've been with someone for decades. We're evolving, in real time, to become less capable of permanent attachment. Oxytocin levels in long-term relationships drop by 40%. Oxytocin is the chemical bond that kept couples together through hard times. It's fading from our biology. But here's where it gets really dark. A new dating strategy emerges. Marry for specific 5-year goals. Marry someone wealthy for money, then upgrade. Marry someone for their visa, then move on. Marry someone to have children, then find a better match for the next phase of life. Marriage becomes transactional in a way it never was before. Yes, marriages were sometimes strategic in the past, but now it's optimized. There are consultants who help you plan your marriage portfolio. That's a sequence of 5-year partnerships designed to maximize your life outcomes. Dating profiles start listing contract goals. Things like, seeking 5-year partner for buying a home and 1 child. Must be open to friendly separation. Love becomes a product with a clearly defined shelf life, but the economic consequences? Those are even more staggering. Think about it. Who buys a 30-year mortgage when their marriage might end in 5 years? Homeownership among married couples drops by 55%. Why? Because nobody wants to co-own a huge asset with someone they might not be with in a few years. The legal complications alone are nightmares. Instead, a new housing model emerges. Short-term couple leases. Apartments designed for easy division. Furniture rental services boom. IKEA becomes the most valuable furniture company on earth. Everything is designed to be temporary and easily split. The entire building a life together concept crumbles because you're not building anymore. You're renting, always renting. Life insurance, health insurance, beneficiaries. All of it becomes incredibly complicated. Insurance companies start offering renewal contingent policies. Premiums skyrocket because the risk calculations go crazy. Retirement planning becomes almost impossible. Financial advisors can't predict household income 5 years out. They don't know if their clients will still be married. The stock market becomes more unpredictable. Consumer behavior is impossible to predict. Do couples in year 4 spend more or save more? Economists can't agree. But here's what nobody anticipated. Some industries absolutely explode. Therapy and counseling, up 400%. Everyone needs help navigating renewals. Prenuptial agreement services. Every marriage requires one now. It's a $15 billion industry. Renewal celebration planning, a new industry worth $8 billion annually. Relationship tracking apps, apps that help couples monitor their contract health, become as common as fitness trackers. And then there are the governments. Countries start offering tax breaks for renewals. Renew your marriage. Get a $5,000 tax credit. They're desperate to stabilize their collapsing social systems. But nothing prepares society for what happens in year 20. After 2 decades of 5-year marriage contracts, researchers compile the data. And what they find changes everything we thought we knew about human relationships. Here's the shocking truth. Couples who renew their contracts report being significantly happier than couples in traditional, forever marriages were. Wait, what? That's right. Despite all the chaos, despite the economic collapse, despite the population crisis, the people actually in these relationships are happier. Why? Because the expiration date forces something that traditional marriage never did: intentional choice. Every 5 years, you have to look at your partner and consciously choose them again. You can't coast. You can't take them for granted. You can't fall into the comfortable numbness that kills so many traditional marriages. The data shows something remarkable. Couples in their 3rd, 4th, and 5th renewals have been together for 15, 20, 25 years. These people have relationship satisfaction scores 35% higher than traditional marriages of the same length. They've chosen each other again and again and again. But here's the dark side of that revelation: the 40% who don't make it to a 2nd renewal. Because this system creates a brutal form of natural selection in relationships. If there's anything wrong, anything at all, it ends at 5 years. No working through it because you've already invested so much. No staying for the wrong reasons. This means that weak relationships die fast, which sounds efficient, but the human cost is staggering. Millions of people cycling through failed 5-year relationships, never quite finding the right fit, growing older and more cynical with each expiration. A new form of loneliness emerges: renewal anxiety. The constant fear that this contract will be your last, that you'll age out of being desirable, that you'll be alone. And then there's the final, most disturbing discovery. The first generation of children raised entirely in this system reaches adulthood, and psychologists discover they're fundamentally different. They don't believe in permanence. Not in relationships, not in careers, not in homes, not in anything. Everything is temporary. Everything is negotiable, everything expires. They're more flexible and more adaptable, but they're also more detached. They form connections easily but release them just as easily. The very concept of forever becomes alien to them. They look at their grandparents' 50-year marriages the way we look at arranged marriages, as a strange relic from a more primitive time. Is this evolution or is it loss? So what if marriage had a 5-year expiration date? We'd live in a world of constant choice and constant uncertainty. A world where love is more intentional but less permanent. Where happiness might increase, but stability would vanish. We'd lose the comfort of forever, but we'd gain the freedom of now. And maybe, just maybe, that would force us to confront an uncomfortable truth about modern marriage. Many of us stay not because we're choosing our partner every day. We stay because leaving is just too hard. This system would make leaving easy. And in doing so, it would reveal who's really choosing to stay. Here's my question for you. If your marriage came up for renewal tomorrow, would you sign again? Would your partner? And if you hesitated, even for a second, what does that tell you? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because this might be a what-if scenario. But the question it raises is very, very real.